Happy Sabbath, everyone. Good afternoon. Yeah, it's afternoon. I didn't plan to record anything today, but I'm going to. Someone asked me the question yesterday. Why do you do what you do as a chaplain? What's your purpose? What's the one thing you do that make you do what you do? I told the person that yesterday, Wednesday, I was just gonna send my manager. Let her tell her I'm done and quit. Keep your job. Don't want it. Had enough of this. Rubbish. Don't need it. Not gonna be nobody trash bin. And I just stopped myself from sending that email because one, not in the habit of letting someone push my go button. The only person that pushed my go button is me and God. So I had some really rough talk with God, and that makes some Christians uncomfortable and leave me like, why are you up into me and God business? Don't get involved in me and God business. Don't get involved. It's between me and God. There's no space between me and God for no third party in there. And you know, this morning I was thinking about something that the person said to me yesterday. The person was sharing, reminding me of this story, which he shared a couple of weeks ago with me when we went on this training. And he says, he was working as a physical therapist and he realized he couldn't make the difference he wanted to make. And he decided to go for a change. He started yesterday by telling me that he was a spiritual, but his new manager, planted some seeds, and the seeds he planted. And it says, I'm sure you planted a lot of seeds, Claudia, here, seeds that might not grow or watered. But he had to come to the point where he had to walk away from that and doing what he did now because one, he couldn't make a difference where he was. And he didn't want to give his patients substandard care, which is how actually I feel. I feel like I'm giving my patients substandard care because without getting into that. And not going to give substandard care. I'd rather walk away than give that. But somehow he was telling me that I know what to do to go, technically. And at 1 minute he was saying, like, can you find hope in this? And I said, there's no hope in this. And I don't want to see any hope in this. I don't want to see no hope in this right now. And as we talk, and I just dumped everything that was on my head, I felt better. Yeah. Okay, you know what? There are a lot of people in a circle sometimes, but they don't want to hear your story. They have their own definition of what's going on with you. And sometimes in life, all you need to do is just dump what's on you. And I thank him for the opportunity to just dump what was on my head yesterday. And it made me feel better dumping it. Didn't solve my problem, but just dumping it just got it out there. We don't like people's mess. We like to see people okay, and it's okay not to be okay. And people don't like that. They think because you're Christian, you must be okay. But that's what I like about God, that I can be real with God and he knows me and he's not bothered even if I give him an ultimatum. He's not bothered if I say, God, and whether he answers or answers not, I'm going to remain authentic with God. And we were talking about, people coming to work with your authentic self. And I'm like, if all of us come with our authentic self, this is crazy. We use these jargons and come with your authentic self. There's one person I can come with my authentic self and know he still loves me, and that's God. And even when I fly off the handle with God, I know he loves me enough to. Sometimes you go quiet and sometimes you're like, are you done? And I'm like, okay, yeah. No, I'm not done yet. No, I'm not done yet. And I'm done. And that's the beauty about who God is. You can come to him with your authentic self. I don't have to live in anybody else's bubble. I don't have to live according to anybody else's expectation of who I am. I spent a good chunk of my life trying to uncall myself from God's call in my life. And there are people who tell you that, oh, you don't trust in God, you don't do this, you don't do that, that they have their own idea, even though they're struggling in their own mess. Sometimes people try to project things on you. Sometimes people don't understand where you're at. Some people scoff at your story because they don't have their foot in your story. They don't know the hell you go through. Just as I don't know the hell some people go through. And there's some people in life, you'll see them all over YouTube and all over the internet. They go through some moments and they just shine in those moments. They just shine. They don't allow what they're going through to, I mean, it hit them, don't get me wrong, because they had their moments, but somehow their different personalities and their different traits and the different things help them to use those obstacles into opportunity. And some people, they could try all they want. Their obstacles never became an opportunity. They just have to sit in that mess and just sit there. And we try to box people into stuff. And this morning, I just want to remind us that there's one person we can be true with, and that's God. And sometimes when people try to bring us low, it's hard for us to rise above that. And as I sit and I reflect this morning on so many different things this morning, I came across a sermon of Wilson and I was listening to it. And my biggest takeaway was his last two words, and I said to myself, you still need to go have your conversation with God, because that was his word. But somehow that word encouraged my soul. He says, life always has things that you fear. But fear, you could fear stuff and you can forget everything and run, which is what and I wouldn't say I'm forgetting everything and run. I just say, God, I'm done. I don't need this trash in my life. I'm gonna be nobody trash bin. I'm gonna love me because you said I'm worth it, and I'm gonna happy to walk away from this. And I told you when I walk away from my last job that if I have to walk away every year, I will do just that. I remember someone saying to me, sometimes you have to walk away 5 times from this particular place where I walk away from last, before you find a really one that sits in you. Because I'm at this point in my life where I'm not gonna let people put junk in me. I'm not gonna you can always devalue me. I can't change who you are, but I don't have to take your toxicity. I don't. And because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, and because I am in God's child, God expects me to take care of this. And a part of taking care of this is knowing and have boundary in the place to not take your junk. And you can come with your junk because I know what my mess is. And God is not afraid of pointing out my mess to me. Just has to point out your mess to you. And, sometimes, walk with God uses people to speak in your life. And sometimes you just have to say, I want to hear from God. I want to hear from God. The times when you have to just let God speak to you and just drown out all the noise in your life. And the next fear the guy talked about was facing everything and rise. And I smiled to myself and I'm like, God, I'm not in the mood to face nothing and rise right now. I don't want to face nothing and rise. I just want to undo that call in my life, and I'm had it. And I know I can't undo it because I try to undo it a million times and it get blocked. And I'm like, what is it about other people why they can undo the call and go do a million other stuff? And it's okay. But me, I can't. I try to undo it, and whatever I do get blocked. And I remember saying to God, I don't want that type of a relationship. I'm keeping it real this morning, really real. I don't want a type of relationship with God where he's always have to pull stuff from me or he's giving me things I want. Because I know some people, God says this, and I'm subscribed to the point. I know the last job I was in, I became so stupid and I looked so stupid. And I'm okay with looking stupid because sometimes God's plan and work in your life makes you look stupid because people don't understand. And in their recipe with God, it says I just make a choice and go. In my recipe with God, that doesn't work. So we all have our own recipe with God. And I remember someone was saying to me yesterday, so you're giving God ultimatum. I said, I'm putting my fleece out. Gideon put his out. Just let me put my fleece out. I was about to tell him, man, look, don't get involved with me and God. Why do you think you need to be in this with me and God? You see, God's not uncomfortable with where I'm at right now. He's not. And that's what I love about God. I was getting upset about my laptop. And I had some really choicy word with God. And I'm not here gloating about it because I just told him how I felt about the situation. And I'm like, can you help me understand why all of these spiral and tread and why it's just one trouble after the next? And right now, I'm tired. I'm physically tired. I'm spiritually tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. Tired. You can see the bags under my eyes. I'm tired physically. And when you're tired physically, you can't hold much, you know? So I'm not afraid of telling God I'm tired because the God I know knows me inside out and he knows everything about me and he knows what to do to fix me and to get my attention. So while I was there getting worked up about my laptop, and this woman would keep telling me that she ain't gonna fix my laptop because the third party touched my laptop and it wasn't her staff who break it or the machine who break it. But her staff who told me to put my laptop down and go to, I said, could I have defiled her? If I defy what she said, you'd have come and cuffed me and kicked me to the airport, right? She didn't want to face that. She want to focus on what she focus. So when she sent back like a face the message and I sent her back mine, she decided to shut up and say nothing more to me. And I just said to her, so you help me understand what is it you don't understand and I want to escalate this case. And why I want to understand why you refuse to give me the details to escalate this case. She didn't say another word. And while I was reflecting on all the conversations and the local roughness that was coming out of me, because I had enough, and you know when I have enough, so I had to go, or I see it as is. So I started reflecting, and as I reflected, it's like a voice that said to me, he didn't say, "Are you done this time?" He was saying to me, "Okay, Claudia, what made you come home?" And I got this text from somebody that says, and people kept saying, "Oh, that's not normal. There's nothing normal about my life. So don't put my life in normal because there's nothing normal about this life. I'm past that. I'm over that." As I was saying to someone yesterday, you know, she was telling me about her life and it was rough from she was 5. Struggling with certain things, bearing the burden of certain things. And now she's struggling alone, no support, struggling. And as she spoke, and I said to her, I don't understand where you are, but I know what it is to be in the 1%. And I shared an experience with her that I went to the doctor in Michigan once, and he was trying to muster up the courage to tell me that I was in the 1% again. But what he didn't understand, that I was in the 1% so many times that I was okay with being in the 1%. And that's what the message I was trying to tell her yesterday. I do a bit of what they call share of self, use of self sometimes, as long as I can redirect it back to them and they can learn from it. So I said, as he was trying to tell me my result and what he was diagnosing, and that I was in the 1% and couldn't find the word, I said, you mean I'm in the 1% of people in the population that this happened to? And I was there laughing and smiling, and he was where I was responding to him, and he was like, well, you just take it like that. I said, doctor, but every time the doctor tell me I'm in the 1%, I take it, I'll be dead by this. So you tell me what you have to tell me. I'm not surprised that I'm in the 1% because I'm always in the 1%. Whether it's in the good, the bad, the ugly, I'm in the 1%. And he looked at me. And he's the same doctor that he was poking me all over and telling me, and I could see it on their face what they were thinking, and I just started singing. What's my song there? Almighty God, my Redeemer, my hiding place, my sweet perfume. No other name like Jesus, no power can stand against you. And I was just singing, and I, what she have to sing about? And I was just singing. And I remember the nurse, she was standing there that day. And when I came back my result, and she said, you're going to be okay. She said, you keep trusting God. You keep trusting God. Because one thing I can do in the midst of trouble is sing and worship. And when I can't do that comfortable, it hurts, really hurts. That's one thing that takes me from my situation to my problem. So I was sharing with this girl yesterday about the 1%, and, you know, I said to her, you know, affirming where she was. And I said, it's hard. It's hard being in the 1%, whether you're the 1% with your sickness or 1% in your situation. Sometimes in the 1% club doesn't look too exciting. So I was talking to God about my 1% club yesterday. And I was reflecting on a lot of stuff. And he said to me, He reminded me of something that happened. He said, remember you coming home and you're getting that text message again about plugging into airport's port. And I'm like, dang, I just come up with, why are you gonna send me that? No, I was about to send a transfer on my phone. And I got the text before I sent the transfer. And I'm like, dang, there's no way I'm gonna get this message and I'm gonna go send that transfer. So I forwarded to a few people as I felt impressed. And I got it before and it didn't touch me. But having just come off the airline and knowing that I plugged in my laptop in the airport source, I think I charged my phone in the airport source because it doesn't stay charged long. Also, and got that message, knowing my situation, because I ain't gonna lock, because I'm not into lock. God is in charge of me. Right there and then, I make the analogy that, hey, this could be a warning. So I decided I'm going to do my transfer, but not on my phone. So I turn on my laptop, a half-broken laptop, to do this transfer. A broken laptop, rather, because I can't do certain things on it. It's hell to use it. And I'm just giving thanks that I can even do anything on it. And as I try to do my transfer, in the middle of my transfer, it says, for your own safety and security, please do your transfer. Zelle no longer work on your laptop. You must use your mobile phone for using Zelle. And I'm like, when since? I said, did Chase forget to give me the memo about this? And I was adamant in my spirit that this is not Chase. I'm in the middle of my account on Chase, on my laptop. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. There's no way I'm going to use this phone after just getting that message to do my transfer. Then it says to me, scan this QR code and it will take you straight to your phone. Remember, I'm in the middle of my account on my laptop in Chase. So as I did that, I was like, you need to call Chase. Just close this down and call Chase. So I closed it down and I called Chase. Didn't get through. Next day I called Chase. And I'm like, I ain't got time for this right now because my laptop is broken. I am trying to keep the cool and trying not to focus on the situation and all that's going on with me right now. I'm trying to, okay. So I did that. And I decided the day before that I'm not going to make this broken laptop get to me. And I'm like, God, I said, God, are you trying to make me a liar? I said, why is it that the last couple of times I praised you for something and I'm telling people about you, then this woman come from nowhere come tell me that she can go fix my laptop. I just praise you at church on my laptop. And what is this, God? What is this? You see, I don't have a problem asking God these questions because my Bible tells me, come let us reason together. So those of you uncomfortable with it, that's okay. But with my relationship with God, God knows what I am thinking, and I'm not going to pretend and wear a mask because God knows I'm already thinking it. And I like to keep it real. And he can't help me or correct me if I don't keep it real. So I sit down and I said, God, it's like my account's not already giving me a problem already to use what is mine in there. So I'm like, why is my account so easy to shut down like that compared to everybody else's account? Why do I have to give the bank's explanation every time I want to do something with my account? And so I called Chase, got through finally, explained what has happened. And she said, well, you can use your computer. I said, well, my computer just tell me I can't use Chase. As I said, I'm in the 1% that things happen to with certain things, and I don't compare myself with nobody else. So I don't know why certain things happen to me. And I've given up wanting to know why certain things happen to me. And I'm okay with that. Sorry for those who's not okay with that. I have moved on and I'm okay with that. So I called Chase and she told me, well, you need to change your email and change all of that. But yeah, that doesn't sound like us. We don't normally do that. I'm like, that's my point. That's why I'm calling you. I said, I was in the middle of sending my Zelle. I was in it. She gonna tell me to. I said, so does it make sense? I said, if just in case my laptop is infected. No, I thought my phone was infected. Yeah, could be infected. Let me give it a couple of days because I'm not gonna know when to read that message. And knowing me, what happened to me, I wasn't even thinking at the time it was a warning, but I just read the stuff and I'm like, ain't happening today. Not today. That phone ain't gonna send no money from your phone today. And if you send money from the phone and it happens, what are you going to say? What can you do? What can you do? And I wasn't even realizing anything out of it. And as I thought about it, she transferred me to the section to change my password. This boy came on the phone and I'm like, boy, I haven't slept. I'm jet lag. I'm not in the mood for this. I'm so crashing right now. I really don't have patience. And I was there. Okay, God. Okay, God, keep your daughter still. And I'm like, okay, you're not gonna make me go to character either. And he was like, well, I'm telling you, I'm not going to change your password without you change your email. I said, help me understand how I'm going to change my email. Because I certainly don't know how to do it on my phone because I'm looking on the phone and there's nowhere under the attempt to change my password. And if the phone is infected and the laptop is infected, so what's the point in changing my password on either of the two? And he wasn't seeing what I was saying. And I'm like, okay, you lock my account. Go ahead, because you have the power to do it. Go ahead, lock my account, and I will go ahead and sit down and wait. I just said I have no laptop. And you just telling me to go on there. Obviously, you won't listen to a word I'm saying. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll go enjoy the rest of mine. So we part our ways. That is what God brought back to me as I thought about the phone. And he brought back to me, says, you missed it. You know, because I know I don't get away with stuff that other people get away with. And I know other people get blessings some ways that I don't get blessed in those areas. And I was like, it's like the God was saying to me, when you stood there and kept asking the girl, why can't you stay and watch the laptop? It didn't dawn on me then that that was the message that my laptop was going to be broken. And I'm like, I couldn't do anything because I had to move because they tell me to move. As my butt was going to end up in jail. Because they were going to say I'm creating peace and discord and come escort me away. So this woman refused to see my point yesterday. And I'm like, I ain't got no breath in me to fight nothing right now. And the lawyer says, everybody keep passing me to somebody else. Oh, I want to try your else insurance or your home insurance. Oh, why don't you charge somebody else? Because we ain't going to cover this. Then she would tell me, I said, I don't have a problem with my insurance covering 500 quid out of my 1,800 for my laptop. I said, if I make a mistake, if I was supposed to watch that screen, then it becomes my fault. But when you step in and do that, it's not your fault. She wasn't having it. So I wasn't having, and none of us, we weren't meeting each other either. So, that end up nowhere. But what really got my attention is when God says, you in the 1% with certain things. You should have known that when you were insisting on watching your laptop, this shouldn't take you by surprise. I'm speechless. I said more than I planned to. I even forget why I was doing this recording, going down this way. But whatever God allows to happen to your life is because God allowed it to happen. It's not always sweet. And you shouldn't have to feel sweet about it. Not because other people wanted to feel sweet about it. Sometimes your life make a living hell. And I was still adamant, God, that you need to speak to me and let me know what you want to do because I am done. I've never felt so done in all my life. But then I heard the word today, and I'm not saying I'm sold on that because I'm still speaking to God for myself about. And it's like, I'm like, God, why do I have to be the one without a license? Why do I have to fight to get a license? I'm not fighting nobody for nothing. Why do I'm the one in between everything? Why I'm the one all the time? God, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm done. Tired. God, I'm done. I'm done. Done. I'm done. But because you have the right to make me done, I'm going to seek you on the point. Sometimes our life is a living hell. And sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes nobody around you understand. Sometimes people scoff at your story and your troubles and you continue to have life. Sometimes you don't even have time to breathe or to even say what your story is. Sometimes nobody understands your hell or your why. But I want to encourage you this morning to find your why in God. If you can find your why in God, even when it doesn't make sense, if you can find the why you worship, if you can find that God is the reason why you are here, and when nothing makes sense, you can still turn to Him. I'm at a point where, God, if this is all the hell I'm going to have, if that's what it takes to save me, save me. And that's where I'm at. That is literally where I'm at. If my life every inch of the way is going to be trouble, and nothing can be simple in this life, it's okay. It's okay. And I'm okay with it. Yeah, I know I'm a little dramatic right now. Yes, but I'm okay with it, Lord. Because there's only one thing that matters to me is to be in God's will for my life. And that's the only reason why my manager didn't pick up our letter Wednesday night, even though she homesick, that I am done. And I said, I'm not going to make somebody press the button of me being done. Let me sit down in my next, today's what, 11th? 29 more days after 40 days of prayer and see what God has to say. Make sure that you are in God's will for your life. No matter what hell you're going through, stay in God's will. That's my word for today. Bless best. May the Lord bless you and may you have a blessed Sabbath day. God bless.